This is Ethan, and I'm here with Dave. And together, we are Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast, episode 2-inch.
On this episode, we interview Meghan Foley and Annie Stoll, the Grammy Award-winning graphic designers behind Weird Al's Squeezebox collection.
It's Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast.
It's a podcast about Weird Al.
It's Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast.
Seriously, the whole podcast is about Weird Al.
Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast.
You don't have to listen, but we're glad you are.
Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast.
Dave, I think we should talk about the Grammy Award-winning Squeezebox, the complete works of Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, and that's the 15-album box set that's shaped in an accordion.
That is very true. The most exciting thing is that it just won a Grammy for Best Boxed or Special Limited Edition Package. How great is that?
That is so cool. I mean, this was released back on November 24th, 2017. And basically, just on February 10th, 2019, it won a Grammy.
It's so... I mean, it should have won a Grammy. Like, compared
I'll
to the
tell
other
you,
ones, none of the other ones were an accordion and a book. They really went all out with this.
Yeah, that's what it's really the only box set that was up that wasn't actually a box.
Right. It's amazing. So I've got mine in my hand. I know you got yours with you.
I got mine with me. Yeah.
It's every album, every studio album that Al's put out, plus a bonus album, medium rarities, and it's in the shape of Al's accordion. It opens up, and in the bellows of the accordion is where the albums are housed. It is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is that it's not just any accordion. Like you said, it's Al's accordion. They actually took pictures of Al's accordion, and they went out and made it as close to Al's accordion as possible. Everything down to the buttons and the writing on the buttons and just it's like from every angle it is Al's accordion. It is the coolest thing, and how much attention to detail they put into this. Just the box for it, the accordion shape for it.
It's not an actual accordion. It is just a accordion shape. It's plastic and metal, and it's lighter than I think I would have expected. But I'm kind of happy about that because then I'd be lugging it around all the time. My arms would get tired. But it's just such a beautiful piece, and it's so nice to have every album in one place.
Yeah, if you wanted to use this as like a cosplay or a Halloween costume, it would pass as if you were carrying around a real accordion.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I think I have some pictures up on Facebook where people saw me who were like, "When did you start playing accordion?" I'm holding the box set, right? So
that's amazing. I think the other thing that we should mention is not only did they collect all of Al's works together, but they also remastered all of them, so they sound amazing. Really the best they've ever sounded.
Yeah, that is probably one of the coolest things, is that they went through meticulously every single song on 14 albums, and I guess even the 15th bonus album, and they just cleaned up everything. Just the amount of attention that they gave to this, and it sounds amazing. Like I don't think since I've gotten Squeezebox that I've even wanted to go back and listen to the actual original albums.
And not that they sound different. It sounds just better. You can just hear it better.
Yes.
I don't know that I could tell the difference I guess I could if you played them both side by side.
Oh, you can tell the difference. It's just all the little subtleties in it, like they're pulling, just pulling out little sound effects here and there, little guitar things here and there, and it just, they're cleaning up some of the lyrics, some of the the lyrics that are kind of muffled or hard to hear on the original. Not that they're bad and they were the product of their time, but they're just cleaning that up, and
right.
It's really just, it's a lot of effort that was put into cleaning this up, but it was worth it because it sounds amazing.
Now, I love the book that came with it. It's essentially, because the albums don't come with any liner notes, it acts as both the liner notes, but also there's so much more in it. There's rare pictures and really cool stuff. And I think someone who has some pictures in there.
Yeah, the cool. Yeah, I actually know multiple people that have pictures in it, but
Yeah,
but
well.
one of them's really close to me, and that is my wife Jackie.
That is right.
She has a lot of pictures in the book. I don't have an exact number, but it's probably out of basically where they do the acknowledgments and they're listing out all the people. It's all people that are inside of Al's camp. You know, Bermuda, Al, Suzanne, and Dr. Demento and a few other people. And then it's right there on the top line, and they list them in the order of how many pictures are in the book for is Jackie's name, which is and then there's all these other names, multiple lines. So there's just a lot of pictures in there, and every once in a while we're flipping through the book and she'll be like, that's my picture, that's my picture, that's my picture.
So amazing.
So yeah. So that was definitely, I mean, we'll have Jackie talk about it at some point, but that was definitely like so cool just to have, just have like these pictures that she took in this book. And this book now is Grammy Award-winning book, so
That's
she can say
right.
she can say she won a Grammy.
Technically, she can. And if anyone at home has their book, it's on page 116 that you can see Jackie's name.
Yeah, right on the top row, the last full name on the row.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And this is like it's 120 something pages, the book, right?
Yeah.
And it's filled with just almost every page is just rare pictures and old promos and just from all the different, and they're split into all the different albums, and it's just these pictures have not really ever seen the light of day since for the fans at least, until this book came along. When I was flipping through this book, there were pictures and a lot of pictures I had never seen before, and the variety of pictures are amazing. Like, it's just pictures, some promo pictures, some just pictures that have like just a band hanging out on the bus or whatever, and then just some different, some articles from here, some of Al's, notes, just some of the different variations on some of the singles from different countries, some stuff from UHF,
Right. It's not like a collection of publicity shots that you've seen before. It is just such a great collection.
No, and I know Bermuda and went through his collection, and he's got a million things, a million pictures. He probably could still publish many more books full of pictures and just stuff from his collection. And he really meticulously just went through everything and just gave them access to his entire collection, and just when they were building his book, they really knew what to pick out, like as stuff that the fans would enjoy.
And to build onto that, with when you did purchase the Squeeze box, it was a pre-order, but you got this thing called an access pass, where they created all these original videos, sort of the making and behind the scenes of it. But what was really great is you actually got to see Bermuda's collection, to see him dig through some stuff and find some cool pieces, and you kind of get an inside look as to how he did locate some of these rare artifacts for the book. It was really cool.
Yeah, that access pass was really amazing. I really looked forward to it, and I think I don't remember how many they did, but they almost did one. I want to say they almost did one for every album.
Yeah, and then some. And then Al recorded a few, and there were like fun facts. I think there was like 30 updates. I'm on the website right now, and it says 30. So each of them look like it's a video.
Yeah, they were all videos, and they were a couple. They were a minute or two long. It was a couple minutes long, but they were very interesting and definitely worth, if you have the access pass, checking them out, because I don't know that they're anywhere other than on the access pass.
I think it's been long enough, because this came out in 2017. I think I need to go back and rewatch all of these, because they were just, I had so much fun watching them when they came out. But I've pledged for like Kickstarters and stuff, and they are always like, oh, we'll give you an inside look, an inside blog or something, and it's never good. It's always a waste. But this one wasn't a waste. It was so great.
Oh yeah, definitely the access pass was cool. But also, like, some of the other stuff, there were many different packages which I thought were kind of interesting. Like, you could go with like a basic package, which just basically got you the 14 albums and the bonus album and the booklet and the accordion case, and then you had all these other packages that had different add-ons on it, which was kind of cool.
I guess most notably, you could choose between vinyl or CD, so depending on which one you wanted. And then from there was the regular, the gold, and the platinum. And I had to get both a vinyl and a CD. I just couldn't do without one of each.
Yeah, I think that's a given.
How did you feel about that, Dave?
Well, you know I was going to get one of each no matter what.
Oh yeah.
And and there's actually the test pressings package too, which we'll go into a little bit later. The bundles were pretty cool because you could kind of customize with what you wanted, and I think we'll talk a little bit about the platinum bundles because they had the most stuff in it, the most bonus things in it.
Yeah. So
basically, if you didn't want certain things, you could almost kind of choose your level, and then you'd only have to buy what you really wanted, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. So
they gave that option that you didn't have to really be. You could be somebody who just wanted the actual the albums in remastered and in a cool accordion case, or you could go out and you could get a t-shirt and the socks and a poster and all this other cool stuff.
I love so what was exclusive to the platinum vinyl set was this zoetrope animated turntable mat. And I'm not even like a guy who is like a big record collector outside of Al, but I had to have it. It is so cool. It's one of these things where as it rotates on the turntable, it looks like it's animated the way that they designed it. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It got multiple little owls in different poses on it, and as it spins around, it looks like he's dancing, and it's cool, and it's colorful, and it's nice. Like it's really nice if you want to actually play or if you don't want to play the vinyl and you just want to put this
just watch the mat,
the turntable mat on the turntable and just let it spin around. It's entertaining.
What was also cool about the platinum vinyl? So another exclusive thing for the platinum vinyl set. Is you got a signed test pressing. You could pick one of any of the 14 studio albums, and I thought that was really cool. I mean, I was so tempted to buy 14 different sets so I could get the whole set, but Dave, you actually did one better. They had a very exclusive, limited to 27 set of all 14 test pressings.
Yeah, that's actually... you know me. I need everything.
As soon as I saw that listed, I was like on the fence. I'm like, I know Dave's gonna get one of these, and they sold out really quick too.
Yeah, they sold. You had to be really quick to get one because they sold out there was only 27 of them, and they really sold out quickly. It's. Well, I guess I'll talk about it a little bit now. It's every album as a test pressing, all 14 original studio albums, and it comes in a box which says test pressings on it. All the albums are signed by Weird Al, and then it also came with a certificate of authenticity, and it came with a booklet too.
And since it's a test pressing, there's no artwork. It's more like a blank label.
No, there's no artwork on it. It's a white label. It's very, very basic, but it was intended to be a test pressing. And it's cool that there's only 27 complete sets. There's obviously, I guess, if you pooled together with your friends and you each bought a different,
if only I had 14 friends who
exactly.
all bought a.
If 14 of you went together and planned this out, you could put together your own. You wouldn't have the box. You wouldn't have the COA.
Right.
But
the certificate. Yeah.
Yeah, the certificate. Right. But basically. You could build this on your own if you wanted to, but it would be very expensive, and it was very expensive for the test pressing. But it'd be even more expensive to do it.
Right. Well, so I don't have the full set. I just was able to get the one with my platinum vinyl box. And
so which one did you get?
So I went with I was thinking, I was like trying to figure out like how are they gonna make, like, how many test pressings are they really going to have, and are they going to have to make more if more people order a certain album? And I was trying to think what album would be the one that not as many people would go for, and that was my first thought. And then I was like, you know what, I really just want to have a test pressing with Albuquerque on it, so I went with Running with Scissors. and I'm sure a lot of people went with Running with Scissors. It's a very popular album, but I just wanted it, so that's what I went with.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. I was wondering which one would have the most, and I thought it might be Mandatory Fun because that was the most recent one, or the very first album, the self-titled one,
Right?
Because just it was the first one. For myself, I went with one of my favorite album, and that's Off the Deep End.
Yeah, so we both went with our favorites,
Yeah. I just figured that would be cool to have just a test pressing of that. But that is interesting. I wonder how many test pressings actually, like if they had to actually do any test pressings, had to rerun a test pressing because they sold more of one particular album than another.
They just white out the label like, oh crap, we need to make this look like a test pressing.
No one's actually going to play this.
That's the other thing. I've never actually tried playing my test pressing. I wonder if they really just gave us a blank vinyl and just was like, no one's going to ever try this. They're all collectors. We should try it. We need to do that. We'll report back in another podcast. One of the other things, I don't think we mentioned the socks. They did eventually come out as a merch item after the fact, but at the time it was the only way to get the Weird Al socks. They came out with a magnet sheet, which is one of those where, it's like a base of Al and then you can put on different outfits. It came with a t-shirt, and then the pennant, Weird Al Oxford pennant. So there was some cool stuff that came with the platinum set.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the socks. One of my favorite jokes on the socks is, well, first of all, the socks are basically they're polka dot socks, and then you have Al's face on where your toes are. Right. And they're pretty cool. And it says Weird Al Yankovic across the top of the sock. But the funniest thing is the packaging, and they didn't have to do this, but in the actual packaging it says Greatest Knits Volume 1 and 2.
And the two socks are different too, which is cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And then talk a little bit about that magnetic dress up set.
Yeah,
that's actually it's some pretty heavy duty magnets there. They got
Yeah, it's very thick and it's a very strong magnet, which is great.
Yeah, and basically it's just a couple poses. It's Al, and this is funny. Is that that Al, there's a picture of Al, or there's a base that you use for Al, and he's not wearing any clothes other than heart boxers and the Weird Al socks and his patented Vans, of course, and
right.
He's all covered in tattoos.
Which Al is not really covered in tattoos.
Al's not really covered in tattoos. But the funny thing is that it looks just like the lead singer from Maroon 5.
Yeah, Adam Levine.
Adam Levine. Like the way all the, I was like, when I was looking at him, I'm like, oh, Adam Levine. That's where he got his inspiration from.
It's so funny. I didn't notice that until you mentioned that. But it's like it's a perfect parody of Adam Levine.
It is. Tattoo. It's almost like Al is he was like so far ahead of the times on this one that he just nailed that parody without even.
Because now with the Super Bowl just happening and Adam Levine taking his shirt off, everyone is joking about that. But Al was very ahead of the time before we even knew who he was making fun of.
Yeah, there's a couple other things. There's the Jedi outfit. Or the Saga Begins outfit, really. The
fat outfit's great.
Yeah, the fat outfit, the Amish Paradise outfit, and the Nirvana outfit. And there's a Hawaiian shirt and an accordion. And there's a Bella.
That's right.
And a donut.
That's right. Oh, man. It is great. I'm glad I went with the squeeze box. I'm glad I got both. It was kind of daunting. It's like I got to pay all this money right now and I got to wait 11 months to actually get it, but by the time it actually arrived, I was so excited. I was so happy to get the songs and the high quality. They actually did release the songs as a download before the box set came out, but there was no way to get the medium rarities. Of course, that was exclusive to the box set. But if people wanted to buy the high quality files, they could. But I chose to wait.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any way to get the book either without going
Right.
through the
Right.
through the actual Pledge Music website. But let's talk a little bit about the pennant, which I think that was specific only to the platinum the bundle,
Yeah.
right? And basically, it's a pretty decent pennant. It's just says Weird Al Yankovic. It's got his accordion on it, and it says established 1959. It's kind of like a sports pennant. It's a felt pennant. It's pretty cool. And then the T-shirt too, which is one of my favorite T-shirts, and I really don't generally like that style with the sleeve that comes
baseball style.
Yeah, the baseball style with the sleeve that comes halfway down your arm. But this is actually it's actually comfortable, and the actual artwork is just says close personal friend of Al, and Al's
I love that design. Yeah.
And Al's got polka dot hair, and it's just a cool, really cool shirt.
I don't think I've ever even put my shirt on. I'm gonna have to try it.
Oh yeah, no, I've worn it several times. Yeah. So, what else we got? So we got. Let's talk a little bit about the actual packaging that the CD and the vinyl came in.
Oh yeah. So what's really cool is so each album, it's the same size. So it's the size of like a vinyl sleeve, but for the CDs, instead of it sliding inside, there's a little pocket on the back where the CD can be put on. It's really a brilliant idea for how they did that.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you, see if you noticed this, but there was one CD and one vinyl that was actually printed upside down.
I know, that was like the first thing I noticed. I was so concerned, and then at first I was concerned, and then I was like, maybe I got a rare one, and then I was like, oh no, everyone just got a messed up one. But yeah, medium rarities. The only time medium rarities ever was released, it's upside down. So maybe it's supposed to be upside down. We have no way to know.
That's true. You never know with Al. But this is also kind of cool because for the LPs, right, or the vinyl version, right, this is the first time that several of these albums are ever available on LP.
Yeah.
On vinyl.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Should we talk about medium rarities?
I think we can talk a little bit about medium rarities.
So
I have a question for you,
yeah,
Ethan.
Yeah.
So, is Medium Rarities, do you consider that to be Al's 15th album, or do you consider it to be more of a cheesy compilation?
I consider it to be a cheesy compilation. I don't consider it 15th album.
And that is because, for the most part, it's all songs that really haven't been released before. Although some of them can be found in other formats.
I think
so. I
think if someone is a collector of the CD singles and the Dr. Demento basement tapes and just other places where Al's songs have shown up, you'd probably have at least 80% of these already.
Yeah, I was going to say that you could probably track down a majority of these on your own.
Some of them you might have to rip from TV shows or YouTube. But a lot of them you could get on a CD. You just have to collect like maniacs, like Dave and I are, to get them. But yeah, there are some new stuff. I mean, I guess I would have loved to get stuff that literally I didn't already have in my collection on here. But getting them remastered on this is pretty great. So I really can't complain about it. It's a really cool collection, but it's not an album. It's not. There's no new stuff written on here for the thing. So,
well, you could almost. Yes, that's true. There's nothing new that was specifically written for this. Although you could almost argue that "Beat on the Brat" and the new version of "Happy Birthday" were kind of released before they were actually put out. So
that's true.
On the Dr. Demento.
That's true.
So you could almost argue that was their premiere. And I don't know that the full version of Happy Birthday, the new version, actually exists anywhere in full other than on Medium Rarities.
Yeah. So still, I don't count it. Sorry. I love it, but it's not an album. It's not a traditional studio album. It's just a collection.
Yeah, it's more like a cheesy compilation with maybe one extra song on it.
Yeah. I wish they just added 4 more songs so we could get 27 tracks. That would have just.
Well, yeah, they probably would have had to add some short songs because maybe they're running out of room on the vinyl. But
the 2 songs that I feel people mention as not being included on the album that they wish had been was "You're Pitiful" and "Pokemon."
Yeah.
Those are the 2 that are released. And how did people get "You're Pitiful"? That was on Al's website. Was that one also on your website?
Yeah, it was on my website. It was on multiple websites. Basically, when Al.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. It's pretty cool. Like I could be like, "Hey, you can come to my website and download a free song and not get in trouble."
Right, you know? And it's also not available on any CD. How did that happen? How did you get to host it?
Oh well, basically it was when Al put out the song. He basically needed to have. He knew he was going to get just hit with everybody in the world trying to download it off of his website. So he was just trying to spread out the volume of hits that he was going to get over just multiple different sites.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't get like slammed with bandwidth, you know. So it was just kind of Al through Bermuda reached out to many of the bigger fans at the time, you know, the more prominent fans, and just was like, hey, if you got a spot to host this, you know, please do.
So how long in advance did you have the song before the official release?
I don't think I had it early. I think I got it when it was officially released.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were sitting on it for a few months. Anyway, that song's not even on the Squeeze Box. I'm sorry,
I know.
On a tangent here. I would say overall, what an amazing set. I am so happy I got one. I would be just devastated if I hadn't pulled the trigger and got these, because they really are just so great, and they're going to hold their value for a long time. I've seen them on eBay, and they, you know, certainly are holding their value and then some. So I'm glad I got them when they were still fairly cheap in comparison.
Yeah, no, they're definitely a collector's item, but they're definitely, in my opinion, they're worth seeking out if you can track one down if you already don't have one, because they're just the book, all the work. It's Grammy Award-winning. The box
true.
set. So it's like, and it really deserved that Grammy for just the amount of, you know, the art direction and stuff that went into the booklet and just the whole set in general, like in the amount of detail. And you know, when Al does something, he likes to really overdo it, and he really did, you know, a good job on this. Yeah. It's just there's really not much, you know, we're nitpicking this, you know, this song wasn't on medium rarities, you know, and
that's the rights thing. I'm sure it's not, you know, they know that song exists. They tried, I'm sure.
But, you know, for them, it really is just a good set. Just a good set to have. It's just a wonderful collector's item. I'm so glad I have it. I'm so glad I have those test pressings. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad I have one of 27 complete sets. Unless somebody out there built their own set, which I'm not ruling out.
Right, that's true. Official sets. and the certificate of authenticity, which says mine's an official one. Dave and I did an interview with graphic designers Meghan Foley and Annie Stoll just a week after they won their Grammy for the design of Weird Al's Squeeze Box collection.
Oh my God, it was so much fun to talk to them. Should we just get right into it?
Let's do it. Very excited to welcome Grammy Award winners Annie Stoll and Meghan Foley. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having us.
We are doing great. We are so excited to have you on our show.
And congratulations on this amazing win. Best Box or Special Limited Edition package for Squeeze Box, the complete works of Weird Al Yankovic.
Thank you for getting the full name.
Sure. So I need to know what was going through your mind when you found out you were nominated for a Grammy Award.
Well, it was
Yeah,
pretty surreal, I must say. I'm sort of a behind-the-scenes kind of person myself, so it's like a little bit crazy to be, winning some kind of major, nominated for this major honor, this crazy award. So yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, I would say I was very blown away. It was unexpected to me. I feel like just working on the project was award enough. Like, it was such a cool opportunity. So this was just kind of like, whoa.
How long was the process from inception to actually coming out with the Squeeze Box?
It was a long process. It was, I would have to
For sure.
say, yeah, I mean, what do you think, Annie? Like maybe 2.5 years all
Wow.
told?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
When all is said and done.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, from logistical standpoint of view, from making sure that, the accordion looked right, from gathering all the assets from Bermuda and back and forthing everything. But I think everyone who was involved just was absolutely amazing, and we're very proud of it.
For sure.
Yeah, now the fans are very well aware of Bermuda's collection. So, what kind of access did you have to that when you were working on this?
And he pretty much gave us full access, right? So, it was a lot of stuff, a lot of photos that people hadn't seen before, strange things behind the scenes tickets and just little ephemera buttons, stuff from fans, stuff that Bermuda had saved. It was really cool. A lot of news clippings and things like that.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm very jealous that you guys got to look through Bermuda's collection.
Me too.
Yeah, that part was really fun, just going through all of the images and, all of the memorabilia just from the beginning of his career, Al's career in the band as well. They just had been saving, everything possible. So it was a huge amount of treasures in Bermuda's garage for us to go
For
through.
real.
It was really great.
And it's unique too because they've been with him since the beginning, and not a lot of bands can say that. So it was extra rare.
Yeah.
Now, when it came to the design, how did it break down? Did you guys have specific tasks, or did you both kind of work on everything a little bit, or how would you describe it?
It was pretty collaborative. I mean, we had to break down tasks just, because it's a huge amount of work. So I sort of focused on, the replica of the accordion and actually drawing that and building that and working with the production team to make sure that everything was on point and all the materials were right and all of that fun stuff. And then the book, we were pretty collaborative on that, and Annie and Al definitely took the reins on, going through all the archival material and just making the flow of the book and everything, on point and time sensitive as well. Everything was, grouped according to the album and specific periods of time, and there were huge amounts of photos contributed from fans and friends and all sorts of people, all sorts of outlets as well. So Annie can speak more to that, but that process was a beast in and of itself and was a really great and amazing collaboration on everyone's part.
For sure. And I mean, I want to stress that it was really cool collaborating with Meghan and Al. I mean, Meghan and Al, I don't know if you guys know this, but they've worked together on several cycles before. So coming into that was just really cool. And Meghan is one of the first people I got to work with when I first started at Sony. So to me, it was just really cool because here I am working with my design heroes.
That is so cool.
Aww.
So Megan, what sorts of collaboration have you had with Al before?
I had art directed his last 2 studio albums, Alpocalypse and Mandatory Fun, and he is the greatest. He's just such an amazing collaborator. His ideas are always, so funny and so cool, and just being able to work with him and execute against that stuff has just been a dream project.
When you're working with Al, how much input do you get from Al himself as you're working?
He's pretty hands-on, and he's very, very detailed. So we definitely work, hand in hand to get his vision created and done in the most, hilarious and great-looking way possible. He's really he's really involved in his artwork for sure.
It's like really cool how he is too. Like it comes from like this like loving, really excited kind of place. Like for instance with the book, like I would go through every single spread. I would number every single image. I would say like where it was from and kind of like what it was. Like here's some alternates if you don't like this image. And like I mean it was very, very detailed, and it was just so cool having his insight. And sometimes he'd be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna swap this for this because of, you know, whatever story that this actually brings up. And like I just think that kind of genuine collaboration is so much fun and so cool, and it really shows just how amazing like his work really is.
Now, working with other artists all the time, I'm sure, is it pretty common for an artist to have that much input and that much say in the design?
I think it really depends on the artist, but I think we both were just very grateful for him being that involved, because that's how it feels more genuine, you know?
Yeah. So some of my favorite things were some of these extras that came with the actual package. How much? Yeah. So I actually love the socks. I'm actually wearing them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was us. We designed all the stuff that came with the box, and you know, all of the promotional tools and everything that came along. So yeah, it was a full circle experience on that one.
Are there any secrets or hidden details that people haven't picked up on that you guys are just waiting for people to discover, hidden in any of the designs? Or like if I crack open the box set, is there like an extra CD in there or something?
Nothing that Easter egg.
Okay.
But there's definitely some little touches throughout that, you know, Al's fans are so great, and they're really like keyed into, you know, every little detail. So nothing much gets by those guys, but you know, we did try to kind of add little things in for the fans. For instance, on the accordion itself, one of the buttons, the bass button, is actually flipped upside down, and we noticed that when we were going through archival photos trying to just recreate, you know, the iconic, most, you know, like epitome of his accordion. We found this little detail and we just threw it in there just to give, you know, everybody a little bit of something to kind of find. And I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff like that in the book that
for sure.
There's so much material in there.
Yeah, there's definitely hidden stuff in the book. If you guys know about the whole number 27 thing, I'll let you guys find some stuff, see how many times you find it, and yeah, there's a lot of good stuff for like the super fan to really deep dive and find some super details for sure. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I want to talk a little bit about the new album in the box set, the medium rarities, the artwork on that. So who came up with that idea? And I love the Al being in the meat package and the deli's numbers on the back for the track.
It was 100, Megan.
That was you know, we kept saying, you know, we're gonna do cover comps for the rarities disc, but it was just nothing like deeper than that. As we were going along and doing all of this other work, you know, we kept saying the rarities disc. So eventually I was like, you know, I'm just gonna comp something to get the ball rolling, and I thought it was a bad joke, but apparently it was pretty funny because it stuck around. And it was kind of one and done. So that's a rarity in and of itself. So.
I love it. Now, Dave and I, you know, you do talk about the fans who notice these kind of things. Dave and I are two of the bigger ones in the world, so we definitely appreciate everything that went into this. And I got to ask, so I have two box sets. I have a vinyl and a CD. I know Dave has somewhere around 5 of the box sets. I'll let him speak to that more.
Yeah.
But how many do you guys have? Is your apartment just filled with box sets of Squeezebox?
No, they're so rare we only got one each.
Really?
Right on.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the fact that you have 5, I'm like, going over to your house.
Yeah, I have 2 of the CD and 2 of the vinyl, but I also have the test pressing package too. So.
Oh, wow. So cool.
Yeah.
That's a hardcore fandom right there.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, are there any plans for more box sets? Is there a box set to collect the box sets? Anything else that you can tell us?
That really isn't really our wheelhouse. But
Yeah.
anything he does, we're gonna love.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just thinking, is there a bigger accordion that I can put both of my accordions in?
Oh man, I don't know. Go to Minnesota, I guess.
Good call.
All right, so I want to know a little bit about the Grammy Award ceremony and kind of what was it like sitting actually in the theater, and as you were anticipating them announcing the category and and whether or not you won.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you my anecdote, which is that Al had just sat down in front of us because it's one of the first categories that gets nominated. So we had to be there like super early and kind of like breeze through everything just to make sure we were in our seats in time. Because if someone doesn't show up, they kind of bump it all up for everybody. The category before us was special just regular packaging. And there was a band that I really wanted to like win the packaging like so bad. I was rooting for them like really hard, and then they didn't win, and I was kind of like busy being mad about that. Name being called, and I was like, wait, what? And I was totally like taken aback. I did not think that was going to happen at all. You can actually like watch me in real time fumble to like get my speech up on my phone.
Oh, it's amazing. I really have to compliment the speeches. You all had amazing, like it's short and sweet, but really just the perfect amount. And Annie, thank you for thanking us fans. We appreciate that very much.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, this is for you guys, like for sure. And like, we're fans too. So like, it was super special for all of us. We kind of decided, maybe the day before we knew who we needed to thank, but, we sort of formalized it on the drive over, which is why I didn't even like write it down. It was still on my phone. Just how superstitious I was and how much I didn't think, we would. But I feel like Al for sure was like really confident, which was really sweet and exciting for sure. I'm still kind of like not over it, a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think I just blacked out the whole thing. So you guys tell me what I said and how we did.
No, I haven't watched it. I don't have the heart to.
Yeah, no, I'm never gonna watch that.
Well, yeah, Al did give you some really nice credit. He did call you the real MVPs, which I thought was very nice of him.
Yeah, he's the best.
No, like he's the MVP. It's his work.
Yeah.
Well, we have to thank you both so much for taking the time to speak with us, especially like a week after the Grammys. Like it's still so fresh. We're so happy to get the exclusive, and we really appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us and for being such awesome Al fans and for all the kind words. You guys are the greatest.
Yeah, you guys are so amazing. Like, seriously, thank you so much for talking to us. We're just graphic designers, but it really means a lot. So thank you.
Thank you to Annie and Meghan for that amazing interview.
How amazing were they?
Oh, they were great. Such a thrill to talk to them. Such an honor to talk to them.
I couldn't believe we got to talk to them only a week after they won. So I think we beat out Rolling Stone and Time Magazine for that exclusive. I want to thank our listeners, of course. Thank you so much for tuning in, downloading our episodes, and subscribing. You can, of course, find us online at 2000inch.com, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at 2000inch. That's 2000INCH. And we also are finishing up our Indiegogo campaign. We've raised a bunch of money so far, and there's a lot of great rewards and prizes, including t-shirts and stickers and magnets, and even stuff from our personal collections. And you can check that out by going to contribute.2000inch.com.
Yeah, and if you are a fan of this episode or you're a fan of this podcast, please subscribe. It really means a lot to us.
On next week's episode, we talk to longtime Weird Al superfan Jeff Nucera. And not only that, he is the guy behind the Close Personal Friends of Al mailbox. He reads all the stuff and gives it to Al, and he gives us the inside scoop on that. Can't wait for you to hear it.
That was Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast, episode 2-inch.
That's a hardcore fandom right there.